Greetings, everyone. Strategic Sage here. Glad to be back with some more of Exploring Distant Worlds. As we had talked about at the end of the last episode, I had finished up building a colony ship. Our fleet has mostly returned from the battle in Ramazin, looking to refuel here. But the idea was we're going to throw our colony ship out to Akuro post-haste and get that independent colony on our side. And that still would be a great idea, but we're running into a bit of a problem. We did get a couple of tech advances. We've got the new fission reactors in. We also got our long-range scanners are going to help us. If we show our influence circles off for a minute, you can see the whitish areas a little bit better. And that's our long-range scanners, so much further than the proximity sensors, much better than them, but they can push out some around all of our state bases that I now have put them on. For the spaceports, the research bases, the resort bases out here, we can see Ancient Guardians activity up in Helmet with that. So it's going to see the comings and goings of everything that's around our bases a little bit better. But the main issue that we're having is down here. If we take a look, this is the Black Market Cartel, and they are growing in strength. And they're also very mad at us. If we come down here, this is, I think, yeah, that's the Savage Council. This one here is the Libya Exports. This one here is the Savage Sun Network. So let's take a look at how some of these are interacting. Now, the Black Market Cartel, growing in strength, you can see over 1,700 firepower, and they're very angry at us. That's due to all that fighting that's happening with our frigates in Boothwell. They're kind of distracting them and keeping them from attacking us too much for the moment. But on the other hand, they're not really happy with all of that conflict. Now, the Savage Council, they're pretty weak, so we don't have to worry about them. Savage Sun Network, okay, they're a little bit stronger, not horribly so, but reasonably strong. And then Libya Exports, okay, they're up there around the same range. They have some powerful ships about around the same range as the Black Market Cartel. But the main thing to notice here is the attitude difference, because the other ones are simply not nearly like annoyed that we canceled the relationship, but they're not furious at us like the Black Market Cartel is. So if we were to go expand to Akuro now, the pirates, of course, are loving the idea of siphoning off resources from an independent colony. Doesn't offer much resistance. It's a great situation for them. If we seize control of that, we're spread out more, and they are going to be even more annoyed with us. So we're sort of in a situation where I have to either keep my fleet on the defensive, and they could just potentially keep growing and growing in power over here, and we want to push down this way eventually anyhow. Or I have to concentrate my fleet and go after this, which means I don't have enough ships to defend in Akuro. We just can't do both of those things right away. So the choice that I'm making is to go on the attack, and this session is going to be about invading the Draithus cave. So several months on, we have arrived in Draithus with our primary fleet, but I have stopped building ships for them. We need to save up our cash for some other items. We'll get to that in a bit. And I've split off some ships as well. These are the marine frigates that I'm putting in what I'm dubbing the reserves fleet. The ones that were damaged heavily and shot up in the battle in Ramazin. So they can repair while everybody else gets to work here. We're not delayed waiting for them. Probably have to shift some ships in and out of that fleet as we go forward. So the first thing we want to do is pick a fight and just clear out whatever ships the Black Market Cartel is going to respond to us with in here. If we look down here, they seem to have a number of them about, including our old friend, the Lethal Onslaught cruiser. There was a request that I capture that. I'm going to capture as many of their ships as I can, but it's more difficult to capture larger and more powerful ships before you get hyperdrive inhibitor to stop them from jumping out. We don't have that yet. So to see how that plays out, we're not going to attack any mining stations or anything just yet until we get a hold of these. Now I want to capture as many as I can, but not use up all of my pods here, just in case something should happen. So we're going to go ahead and begin capturing one at a time here. Destroyed one, captured another. This over here looks like a decent target. And there's going to be plenty of them that I don't really have a need to worry about, oh, I destroyed that one instead of capturing it. Because it's going to be more enemies than we have pods. Oh, we've sold our contact. And then, okay, we have a badly damaged ship that we captured. Carry on. See if we can get this one before it escapes. It looks like we're going to. Okay, what about you? Okay, so you're one of the ones that's on our side now. Now, they did give our contact information out to, okay, the Draithus Authority. Okay, now the Draithus are an extremely aggressive insectoid type of race. You can see here, extremely aggressive, unfriendly, unreliable. Another one of those, like the Utrantu Collective, that we're just going to sort of have to tolerate. Let's go ahead and, let's see. We will do the military fueling, but that's about it. And if we take a look at our contact information for them, okay, they are pretty weak, which is nice. They want to control their own homeworld. That's a good idea. Conquer the most enemy colonies, enslave other races at your colonies. 25% of your empire's population needs to be enslaved, and they haven't enslaved anybody yet. All of that is going to be excellent for us. So if we back out here, where are the Draithus Authority? We actually do not know. So we have contact with them, but we don't know where they are. Okay. So now let's take a look at some of the ships that we've been capturing. Okay, we've got a couple so far and working on another one. So we got a frigate and an escort. The Merciless Onslaught. What we want to do is see, okay, what do we want to do with these ships? Well, hyperdrive is disabled. We've got armor, assault pods, targeting, proton thrusters, fuel cells. All of the things we're seeing here, all the components are items we already have in our technological ability. So we're not going to gain any research from retiring these, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just leave them automated and under AI control, so that basically they're just adding on to the ships that we have automated sending around on patrol duty, and that way we have less of those that we have to build because we're capturing them from the enemy. If we take a look at the frigate here, it's larger. Again, disabled the hyperdrive. Okay, and it's got some other items disabled, etc., etc. Epsilon torpedo. So a torpedo boat, but otherwise pretty much the same deal. So it looks like they're run-of-the-mill ships. They are not any longer more advanced than us. So that's good in terms of us catching up to them, but bad in terms of us gaining further tech advance from continuing this process. Let's see if anybody else is going to come after us. It looks to me like they are. Oh, we've got some interesting scenarios going on with our exploration ship. So let's go ahead and... The Slippery Prize is done with what it's doing. You can head out here to this gas cloud. Okay. Pristine Partisan, you need some fuel. So you can retrofit. Back to our task at hand. We've completed some more ships at the spaceport. That's excellent. Okay, here comes some more fun. We don't have a lot of pods left, though. We only have 15. So I'm actually going to hang on to those and just attack. Okay, we got more ships. A freighter is under attack. We'll just ignore that for now. There's our tractor beams at work. Strong space attacker. You don't say. Well, that I like. Oh, this... Hi. How you doing, fellas? Okay, let's see if we have enough pods. We are going to do everything we can to capture the lethal onslaught. We're going to get hit while we do it. We know that. That's all part of the fun. Some more ships being finished. Exploration being done. Let's take another look at all of them. Solemn Chance, where are you? You can continue exploring out this direction. Another one that needs to retrofit and get more fuel. And here we go. Gotta knock through almost 800 strength and shields. Okay, that's down. And we are on board. Excellent. Okay, we are capturing it. Now, since all of that is under control, now we just want to go and attack anybody else. Actually, you're a better target. Anybody else in the vicinity. And actually, the farther away we get from that, the better, because this is simply going to keep firing at us until our boarding party succeeds in taking it down. How are we doing over there? Only 9 defenders left. Should have it soon. And we do. Boarded and captured the lethal onslaught. Outstanding. Now, let's check out what you have available. And Kaldos hyperdrive disabled. Enhanced armor. Let's see. Assault pods we know. Raptor targeting. Shadow Ghost ECM. Damage control unit. It means it can repair itself, so it'll be able to heal up its own hyperdrive. Quantum engine. Mega density, fuel cell, etc. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff here. A few things that we already have, like proximity array and point defense, but most of what it has are components to advance for us, which means you are actually going to go off automation, and you are going to retire. So we're going to get whatever tech we can get from you, which should be interesting to see how that works. I imagine it'll take them a while to disassemble this size of a ship, but when it does, that should be a fascinating scenario. Okay, now we did take some damage to our fleet. So we need to switch some ships around, send some back to repair, and also get the ones that previously were repairing, because those are now no longer in need of staying on the reserves. They're ready for us. And it's not going to surprise us at all that the Marine frigates are some of the ones that took some damage. But also one of our patrols. Okay, and then those are the automated ones doing their own thing. So switch all of you to the reserves. And then the ones who are already in the reserves, switch to our main fleet. We're going to tell our reserves to go repair. Okay. So let's see what we've done to their total firepower now. Very significant chunk. We've knocked over a third off of it. Now, they aren't totally wimpy yet, but that's definitely heading in the right direction. What do they have down here still? Not a whole lot. I think we've cleared out enough now. I want to start hitting some of these mining stations, but still hanging out and not quite going off after the spaceport. Because we have more ships from our fleet that need to make their way down this direction as well. Want to get them all in position before we actually commence that attack. So this is a fairly lengthy process. We've got a new empire, new pirates. Okay, we don't care about you. Slippery Prize has completed its task. Looks like you have plenty of fuel. You can keep right on going out this way, I think. Of course, you can see a good amount of our shields are still down on some of these. So it doesn't hurt to give them some time to recover as well. Okay, are we getting hit by something? It looks like you're probably going to come up this way. But let's hit one more of these first. And we've got a good amount of pods, so it wouldn't hurt to try to capture you. So this is an event that comes up every once in a while as well. Pirates being funded to attack somebody else. The Ancient Guardians are to blame in this case. They've made a deal with the black market cartel to attack ships and bases of the Venomous Confederacy. We could warn the Venomous Confederacy. It would damage the reputation of the Ancient Guardians. I don't want to irritate the Ancient Guardians. Should we quietly warn them? Of course, the idea there is that they wouldn't find out. But I also like the idea of the black market cartel sending a bunch of their ships off somewhere else while we're trying to clean them out of this system. I don't think it does us any good to warn them. We don't care about the Venomous Confederacy. We're going to keep this information to ourselves. But there can be times where it's useful to actually warn, so. Okay, there goes another station down. And I do believe it's time to capture another ship. Okay, that one's underway. Who else? I think you need to have some attention paid to you. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's actually a destroyer. So that's a different kind of ship. Be nice to see what they put on their destroyers. Captured another ship. And we're working on that one. Still have a good amount of pods. Let's move on to the next one. We will take all of the ships you want to give us. There we go. So I think that's pretty much everybody, except for where on Earth are you going? You're just trying to escape? Command ship got its shields too low. Okay, fine. We will see you back here eventually. I want to switch out some more ships. Another ship coming our way. I think we should have one of the destroyers in place, at least. Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of them. Cool. So what do you have on these? Proton. A bunch of Maxos blasters. Yeah, these seem to be just Maxos blasters, focus ships. See, their size is the same as our current ships. So I think that's the best, basically, that they can do at the moment. And now they've repaired one of ours. One of our ships has been badly, or one of the ones we captured has been badly damaged. We're not going to worry about that. Okay, they're under attack. By what? That's what they're talking about, the sting of Draithus. It's coming our way, so let's just wait for it to show up. You see, some of our automated ships want to come over here and battle in that area, which is a profoundly bad idea. But we have no reason not to just continue on over here. And eventually they're going to run out of ships, which is the whole point of this operation. Finished our second colony ship, but we can't really do anything with it yet until we're finished in here. Do we not have... Yeah, that jumped out. I don't think we have enough Marines in the area with pods. Okay. We're going to switch out another ship yet again. There it is. And let's have all of you... You know what? I think we need to decide if we're ready. I think we basically are. We're going to move everybody right down here. I think we're going to be ready soon. And they've got somebody limping about. We're going to be ready soon to take on our next objective. We've got a whole bunch of ships in here, and I want to wait for them to travel down so that we have a full force. But also, we have just completed research in accelerated construction. If you read the bit there, that gives us resupply ships. And also gives us the Bakuris high-speed shipyards, the first wonder that we talked about before. We need to get a bit into facilities here now. I have a bunch of money, but we're going to use it. I've been saving it up for a reason. If we go down here to facilities, we've done a couple more recent research. The Armored Factory. We have armored forces now. That's our next version of ground troops. They're better than infantry are for attacking planets. We don't really need those yet. The Science Academy we're going to want. That gives us a better chance of having scientists appear in our empire. But my highest priority right now is the Bakuris high-speed shipyards. We want to be the first to build that. So as soon as we research it, we're going to get this underway immediately, and then we'll build the science facility when we have the cash for it. So it'll slow down our fleet, build up some, but I think it's more than worth it. So what about you down here? Okay, so this is the group right here that has a bunch of our regular ships for the main fleet. Just want to wait for them to get into Draithus. And yeah, we might as well make sure our exploration ships are doing what I want in the time being. Okay, you have finished your task. See, maybe somewhere out here. Let's have you work in this area. Distress of Kerbis. You may continue on. And okay, you're down there. Alderaan, you don't say? Okay, we're under attack there, so let's just hold on a moment. If we're getting hit, we should have plenty of pods here. Let's do some more capturing. Yep, there we go. What do you have left now? Even before we take that one away from you, you are down to... Okay, you're down to about a third of what you had. You are getting smashed around. And okay, but you're not done attacking me. Fine. If you want to keep this up, we can keep it up as long as you think you're going to be able to do it. Okay, there's one. There we go. And we lost one of our ships in the process, unfortunately, but no more that are currently damaged. So once again, just have everybody center off here. Okay, no, we do not want your territory swap, but Mutual Defense Pact, United Keteros Territory, it's these over here. I think that is an excellent idea. So we will carry on with it. We have a search bonus in enhanced hyperdrives from disassembling the lethal onslaught. Okie dokie. Let's just take a look at where that's going to take us. Yeah, and it gave us the entire tech. So our Garrick's hyperdrives are now much faster. We don't have to bother researching them. And it probably would have given us a higher level tech if we had actually managed to roll a different one. But still, I will take it. So, switching you off again. You're going into the reserves, and of our current reserves, it appears we have a few more ships that are in fact ready for us. And they can come back. Once again, I want to make sure we get everybody here. We still have a few ships on their way, almost there. We just need them to jump out now. And, okay, Marine frigate trying to escape at the moment. It'll go where it needs to eventually. New pirates, we don't really care about you. Down here, they don't have much. Now we're ready to attack the spaceport. And this is going to get a little bit interesting again, because I need to split up my fleets. And the reason I'm going to do this is that I need... Nope, not everybody. Let's go back to military. But I want the Marine frigates to be separate. Because if I don't separate the Marine frigates, what they'll do is they will simply charge in to the spaceport. And it will not go well for us if they do that. Because they'll just get blown up. And if they don't get blown up by the short-range weapons on the station, what will happen is the station blows up at the end of the fight, and it has a large and powerful sort of just death explosion that's going to happen. So I think we should try to avoid that. So we now have a Marines fleet and an Expedition fleet. The Marines are going to hang out fairly close by here to the side. And then the other group is going to actually go after attacking the station, gradually with its long-range missiles. And we have our automated, ships down in here. They're going to provide some diversion. Okay, now that we've jumped in, let's find our command ship. It's down here. I'm going to move you away over here about where the Marines are, because I don't want you getting sucked into this fight. The other thing is the Marines, you're going to switch your engagement range to just when you're attacked. There may be a better way to do this, but if there is, I don't know what it might be. Getting enhanced countermeasures should help us. But, just dividing up the ships is the only way I know to keep them from fighting in, shall we say, a not good way. Okay, we got a mining station down. We have found a cruiser somewhere in the Volp tier system, so we'll definitely want to investigate that. But we're kind of busy at the moment. Of course, they're going to send out all of their fighters at us. But they have limited ability to hit us from this range, which is I'm going to be very grateful for. And of course, our concentrated ships should eventually be able to shoot down their strike craft just like that. So what do we have left here? Okay, 2,500 out of 4,000 shields, doing pretty well. We're hanging out over here. If they had a bunch of ships in the area, this one's pretty close. But any other ships get too far from the station, I can send in my Marines to try to capture them. So that's my plan. Let's knock this down. Retrofitted a destroyer. Okay. We've increased military ship construction speed. That's very, very nice. Still boosting up on our money. We don't have nearly enough for the Science Academy yet. Now, let's just take one more run before we finish this fight through all of our exploration ships and make sure they're doing something useful. You may continue out this way. You appear to have possibly run into some danger there. The Solemn Chants. Yep, still plenty of fuel range. Oh, I think maybe over here. Some others still coming into retrofit. And Rye Shroud, you ran into an enemy that perhaps you were not expecting. You've already escaped from it. Okay. Shield is almost down. Firepower of 534. But that's going to drop starting whenever we get through the shields. So eventually these impacts should pay dividends. We've been in this system for about 10 months, so it's been a long process, but we got a new character trait from Co-Eridan. I didn't catch exactly what it was, so let's see how you're doing. Strong space attacker, poor space defender to go along with skilled navigator and demoralizing. Basically, okay, he's really a mixed bag at this stage. I still think overall, minus 10% countermeasures, minus 10% shield recharge rate. I like him overall, but he's definitely not an all-star. Still better than the last guy we had, though. Okay, they're starting to come out here. That's not far enough away yet. And we have not really taken down anything significant. Now we're starting to see the firepower starting to drop here. Now we're starting to have an impact. And once that's... Okay, you're pushing all the way out here. Marines, you might be able to get that done. Maybe not. We're going to have you give it a shot, though. Oh, they ran away. Okay. That was worth a try. Meanwhile, you don't have much left. And bingo! You see the size of that explosion? Anything in really close by gets hit hard. You can see it happening here to freighters almost completely destroyed, and some actually were. So, yeah, that's why we didn't want to have our Marines charging in to the fray. But now, we pretty much have the run of this system. So, what do we need to do next? Well, if we pop back out, we are going to want to obviously send off our colony ships now, because we should have enough ships. We can send off a colony ship here, and I also want to head into Boothwell. I don't think there's any pirates nearby that are going to cause us huge problems. I'm going to try to capture both of those. Obviously, there's some mining we want to do in Boothwell. We've already seen that. And really pushing forward to taking these two systems. That's plenty of work for us to do for the time being, and also build up our cash flow, repair any damaged ships, reorient our fleet, all of that. So that's going to be heading in the next episode. Thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed the rather long and drawn-out Battle of Draithus. And will return for us to expand finally beyond Kerbis, get the Bakuris shipyards up, and whatever else it may have for us going forward. See you then.